Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone who watched this video. Today, our team will present about the value engineering study of the 25 Avenue and Union Pacific Respiration Projects number 6. First of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Riko Matardian, and our team members, firstly, is myself, Riko Matardian, and then Raka Hibatillah Asman, Grace Yolanda Tambunan, Hikmatul Hasanah, and Karisma Hira Maharani. The student identifier number can be seen in the presentation above. Before we deep dive in the project itself, I will explain a little about the value engineering. So what is value engineering? Value engineering is process to improve product or process value by analyzing its functions. It examines cost-performance relationship to enhance performance while reducing or maintaining costs, and also fostering creativity and innovation throughout the project process. By focusing on essential functions, it identifies unnecessary expenses, enhancing value without compromising quality or performance of the project. In this particular value engineering study, there are three kinds of study output that desired. The first one is increased performance and also decreased cost. This is the most sought after output of the study that have most value added to the project. The second is same performance and decreased cost. This output will not decrease any basic functionality of the project, but the cost is reduced. And the last one is increased performance and also accepting some small increased costs that still can be tolerable and within the budget. Moving on, I will explain about the main stakeholder of the project. CREATE, or Chicago Region Environmental and Transportation Efficiency, is a public-private partnership program who federal or state government is partnering with private companies in Chicago focused on improving the region's rail infrastructure through a series of interrelated projects. Its goal is to reduce congestion of the traffic, increase efficiency for both freight and passenger trains, and strengthen the national supply chain. The program involves 70 projects to separate rail lines, eliminate conflicts between railway and roadway, and increase speeds for both trains and vehicles. As can be seen in the picture in the presentation, this is a short portfolio of the CREATE program. The CREATE program is investing in the Chicago Region's rail network to add capacity for all of the transportations, reduce travel times, both trains and vehicles, and improve safety for both of them too. More than 70 projects across the Chicago region has been built or still being constructed today. More than 30-year benefits of national and regional significance has been achieved by all of the projects created by CREATE program. Around $31.5 billion generated in economic benefits, and approximately 44,000 jobs, estimated job years created. Now I will explain the context of this project. In the presentation above, you can see the 25th Avenue as highlighted in color red. That is a crucial 4-lane roadway with an existing average daily traffic or ADT of 19,000 and projected to reach 20,000 by 2040. It serves as the municipal boundary and under Bellwood's jurisdiction, providing vital access to Interstate I-290. The interstate is located in the far north of the maps. And the blue highlighted one is Union Pacific Railroad or UP facility. That is a apologies for rail tracks which cross 25th Avenue at grade, or in other words, it is in the same elevation. The Union Pacific Provincial Yard, or simply put, the train station, is located approximately 790 feet west of the crossing. Moving on, I will explain about and why and what is the project aim. The 25th Avenue and Union Pacific Grade Separation number 6 aims to create a grade separation that is differentiate the elevation between the 25th Avenue and the Union Pacific Railroad. This project is sponsored by Melrose Park, Bellwood, and Maywood federal government. The need of the proposed improvement is to address operations and safety along the 25th Avenue, the crossing safety between the roadway and railway, and the reduced delays that mostly caused by the train that pass through. The value engineering study occurred in the early phase when plans were approximately 30% complete. This means that the design team can change many things that can be positively affect the projects, and also there are many possibilities for collaboration between the stakeholders that can be made.
And then the next is constraints. During study, constraints were identified by the value engineering study team and the design team. Some of the identified constraints in the project are as follows: avoid impact to existing or planned rail facilities, minimize impact to rail traffic and yard operations except for the weekend nights, set and site constraints, schedule, land acquisition, utility relocation, access to local business, stakeholder coordination, funding agency, do not change North-South project limits, validation of previous environmental clearance, federal oversight or approvals, materials like steel for bridge, aesthetic of retaining wall, and Buy American. In this slide, we explain the various constraints or limitations that must be considered in the project. During the study process, the value engineering team and the design team found several important factors that could affect how the project is carried out. Some of these constraints include the needs to avoid impact on existing and planned rail facilities, as well as minimizing disruptions to train traffic and yard operation. There are also limitations related to the site condition, schedule, land acquisition, utility relocation, and access to local business. In addition, the project must consider coordination with stakeholders, requirement from funding agency, and maintaining the established North-South project limits. Environmental document validation, federal approval, availability of materials such as steel, and the aesthetic of the retaining wall are also important consideration. And then the next is potential risk. Throughout the workshop, value engineering team members recognized that there were risks and pitfalls, situations that could negatively affect project performance. In the potential risk slide, we present the various risks identified during the workshop. These risks are situations that may hinder the project performance if not handled properly. The table shows different types of risks, from schedule delay and design change to possible operation disruptions during construction. Each, re- each risk has different level of impact and likelihood, so it is important to prepare strategies to manage them. By understanding risk early, the team can make better decisions and ensure the project stay on the track. And then project position. During the value engineering study conducted by the firm, users, owners, and stakeholders of the project are reviewed in endurance to environmental document and content clear definition of each type. A user is defined as one who physically use the project and maintains the project. An owner is defined as the that is responsible for financing the project, manage the project, and represent their interests. And then a stakeholder is anyone who are financially affected by the project, change in the habits, or change toward the environment. In this slide, we discuss the project position, which categories the parties involved the project as users, owners, and stakeholders. Users are the people who use or maintain the project, such as the public who will pass through the area. Owners are the parties responsible for funding and managing the project. Stakeholders are the parties affected financially or by the change in habits or the environmental as a result of the project. The diagram in the slide shows who belongs to each category. By understanding each group position, the team can adjust the design and decision to meet everyone's need. And then needs and desire. During the study, the team identified the project expectation by identifying and dividing expectation by needs or N and desire or D on the project position. Needs is defined as the function that must be fulfilled by the project and the imposed by the various users, owners, and stakeholders. Desire is defined as the function that is not necessary. However, this is should be fulfilled if cost is neither a factor of or does not violate constraints. In the needs and desires slide, the team separates project expectation into two categories, needs and desire. Needs are functions that must be fulfilled because they directly relate to user, owner, or stakeholders, for example, improve mobility, reduce environmental impact, and better safety. Desire or D are additional functions that are not required but would be beneficial if they can be included without violating constraint or editing significant costs. By making this distinction, the team can set clear priorities so the project remains efficient while still providing maximum added value.
Cost estimation and analysis. In the cost estimation and analysis process, construction components sort by cost and then applied the Pareto analysis where 80% of the cost savings could come from the top 20% of the cost items. Analysis result is shown in the following table. In this analysis, not only work items that are included, but there are also issues and concerns that were also identified during discussion. In the table shown, we can see the components that contribute the most to the total project cost. From here, we identify the most effective opportunities for cost savings. The cost shown on the table, however, does not include estimates for municipal utility relocation, not the potential cost for the accommodation of temporary and permanent relocation of private utilities. Further along the project, more accurate and detailed cost estimate can be made. Next, function analysis. The function analysis is conducted by the value engineering team to better understand and analyze the function of individual components within the project by asking these questions. What is it? What does it do? What does it cost? What else will do the job? What does that cost? These are the list of functions for each component and subcomponent as follows. With this approach, we can compare the output and costs of each component, then determine whether there are more efficient alternative solutions. Here is the table listing the function of various components and subcomponents. This table helps us understand the relationship between primary functions, supporting functions, and the components that perform them. Through this kind of function mapping, the team can more easily identify components whose costs may be disproportionately high compared and to their functions, making them potential candidates for improvement ideas. And these two tables are a continue of the previous table. Idea generation. After the function analysis, the value engineering team created lists of ideas which would satisfy the function of the various project components. The main consideration in this process were opportunities for increased performance at a lower cost, followed by maintain same performance at a lower cost and increased performance with small increase in cost. Ideas that have been generated during the discussion can be seen in the table. At this stage, the value engineering team begins developing various alternative ideas that may enhance performance at a lower cost, maintain performance at a lower cost, or improve performance even with a slight increase in cost. The ideas generated in this stage are organized into a table for future analysis.
Alright, let's move on the next slide of the idea evaluation. After our value engineering team complete study and gather several ideas, we began the evaluation process. This idea will first evaluate individual and then discuss of a team. Our main focus was the potential performance and the cost merits of each proposed change. If you look at the evaluation ranking of idea table on the right, you can see how this scale works. First, for performance, a rating of 1 is poor, well is 5 is best. For second for cost, and 3 for some as current idea. Now, in this evaluation process, the team used several key criteria, which you can see at the bottom of the slide. These criteria consider both performance and cost. We focus on the first, the potential for cost savings, and whether the idea enhance operation and maintenance mobility, and then and last and is feasibility and constructability. Okay, we move on the script. You can see about this idea evaluation, so the specific result of the evaluation process we just discussed. If you look at the table on the left, we have broken down idea by category. First, ENV1, which is a to review access consideration for an EPA regulation. This score a total of 7. Is my advantage is confirming compliance with federal producer. Next, at the right of way, idea row 1 is to develop an acquisition schedule, and row 2 is to develop a plan to acceleration that process. Now looking at the table on the right, we have 3 ideas relatable to the schedule. SEID 1 is to develop a submission and review schedule for the team. 2, develop a more detailed schedule by working backwards from the construction start date. And 3, develop a team approach to reduce the number of plan review iteration. We are still on idea evaluation, looking at more result. On the left-hand table, we see SCEAD4. This idea to explore contraction context packaging is scored 7 and is marked to develop. And STM1 is to review stormwater drainage. The design it scored a high 8. And ADA1, this is a compliance item ensuring sidewalks meet ADA requirement. It score 6 and is not as a design suggestion. Now looking at table on the right, which focus on traffic and utility. And in the right, you can see draft 1, util 1, and finally draft 2, review the purpose detour. This is another design suggestion to violate the existing plan. Okay, next. Here we have the final slide for idea evaluation, focusing on the structure STR item. Let's look on the table on the left first. STR1, this is to implement a peer review consultant for the structure design plan. This is idea score and A and is a market to develop. The advantage are a faster review schedule and allowing for fast plan review. And seconds, this is a revelation, the beam depth of the main span is scored a 7, offering potential cost reduction, and will also be developed STR3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D. This involves revolution, several abutment and peer location to avoid relocation utility. This is also score 7 and is set to develop. Let's moving to table on the right. So two and number one is STR4. This idea to evaluation to retaining wall design, and STR5. This is a to acquire a 15-foot maintenance strip on the west side of the structure. This score 7 and is market to develop, while it has the advantage like requiring additional funding. Okay, now we move to the recommendation action. After the evaluation process, this slide gives an example of an approved idea and the recommended action from the value engineering team for the 25th Avenue and Union Pacific project. Here we see a summary of recommendation table. Let's look at the example STR number 2. The idea is to use a steel plate girder with a 40-inch deep web rather than 48-inch deep web. The VA team recommended action is to process with these chains. The most important part is the change in cost. This is action result in a significant cost saving of 186,000 dollars as not under advantage. This action reduce cost with the same performance. And other disadvantage we have known, this is a clear win for the project. Let's go to the move. If you look, continue with the recommendation action. This is slide provide a visually technical drawing of the recommendation STR2, which we just discussed. This diagram illustration the chain. As you can see, the recommendation is to use the 40-inch deep web girder instead of the original 48-inch design. This change is critical. It's critical because it still maintains the required 23-foot 6-inch minimum vertical clearance to the rail below. As the blue blocks highlights, this is recommendation STR2. The key takeaway is that this change achievement is the same performance, meets all clearance requirements, and most importantly, result in an estimated cost saving of $186,000. This slide value engineering study team members is to acknowledge the people who were part of this effort. As the text says, this member will show in the table, and the assistant with obtaining project design information, provide insight to concept, and share cost estimation for informating with the FE team. On the left, we have the core value engineering study team. This table lists the member names, who they represent, and their position. For example, we had Claire Anderson from UPRL for railroad operation, Terry Building as the VA facilitator, and Ron Deverman as the project manager. On the right, we have the value engineering resource team. There's individually provided specialization, information, and support. This time include people like Josh Alonso from CDOT, Rich Battaglia from Melrose Park, and Giorgio Boltas from Gelabon Rotors, among many other who all contribute their expertise. Ready for the next slide.
Okay, first let me to introduce myself. My name is Grace Yolanda, and you can see on this slide that the summary of the project from January 28 to February 1, 2013, the value engineering team met at NCTB Chicago office. They produced 16 recommendations and 6 suggestions with potential savings up to $1 million if carried out as planned. In the next slide, you can see the document of authors. Number 1 is Illinois Department of Transportation. Number 2 is Chicago Region Environmental and Transportation Efficiency. And then you can see the logos of HNTB or Howard Needles, Taman, and Bergendorf. In this next slide, you can see the project benefit. The $41 million project improved traffic flow and safety in the Bellwood and Melrose Park area, reducing congestion from South Charles Avenue to Lake Street. With 19,000 daily vehicles, it alleviated delays for over 3,500 vehicles each day, saving 28 and 400 annual motorist hours. The project enhanced emergency vehicle response time and improved access to a relocated metro station, fostering community development and redevelopment. And in this slide, you can see the finish of the project. And then that's all the presentation of our group. We hope you all understand. Thank you.